Hey there, it's Brittany, and welcome to the Net Zero Earth podcast. I'm so excited to be your host for this weekly show all about the latest in carbon markets, global economic updates, and the world of Web3. First up, we've got some big news out of the Department of Energy. Sublime Systems just landed $87 million in funding to scale up their revolutionary low-carbon cement production process. These electrochemical innovations are a game changer for an industry that's responsible for 8% of global emissions. Can't wait to dive into the details on that one. And then, we'll be checking in on the latest moves in the carbon markets, including a major rally in emissions futures. Plus, we'll unpack some of the regulatory shifts happening, like that all-electric building code update in Illinois that's causing quite a stir. Followed later by a look at how Web3 and blockchain tech are being leveraged to help companies and communities reach their net zero goals. There's some really innovative stuff happening in that space that I know you're going to want to hear about. But first, a quick word from our sponsor, Net Zero Earth. They're using the power of Web3 to assist organizations in finding pathways to decarbonization. Stay tuned, fam. We've got a packed show for you today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more after this commercial break and word from our sponsors. Hey everyone, we've got some exciting news in the world of sustainable cement production. Sublime Systems, a startup that's pioneering a revolutionary method for making fossil fuel-free cement, just landed a huge deal with the U.S. Department of Energy. The DOE's Office of Clean Energy Demonstrations selected Sublime Systems to start negotiations for up to $87 million in funding. This is part of the Industrial Demonstrations Program, which aims to support projects that showcase commercial-scale decarbonization solutions. Sublime's initiative, called the First Commercial Electrochemical Cement Manufacturing Project, was chosen along with 32 other projects across more than 20 states. Now, you might be wondering, what's the big deal with cement? Well, producing traditional cement is actually a major contributor to carbon emissions. It accounts for about 8% of the world's total emissions. That's because the process relies on fossil-fueled kilns operating at super high temperatures. But Sublime Systems is looking to change all that. Instead of using those high-temp methods, they're employing electrochemical reactions to produce cement. This eliminates the need to burn fossil fuels, which significantly reduces carbon emissions. Plus, by using electricity to power these reactions, Sublime's plants can integrate renewable energy sources like solar and wind. It's a total game changer. The DOE funding is going to help Sublime scale up their operations big time. They're planning to build their first commercial manufacturing facility in Holyoke, Massachusetts, which will be capable of producing up to 30,000 tons of Sublime cement per year. And get this, it's slated to open as early as 2026. But Sublime isn't just focused on the environmental benefits, they're also committed to engaging with the local community and creating high-quality jobs. In fact, they anticipate hundreds of jobs will be created during the construction phase alone. And they've partnered with unions to make sure those jobs are good ones. So, what does all this mean for the future of sustainable cement production? It's a huge step forward. With innovative companies like Sublime Systems leading the way, we could see a major shift towards decarbonizing the cement industry. And that's not just good for the environment, it's good for local economies and public health too. If y'all are enjoying this podcast, don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more after this commercial break and a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back with more exciting developments in the world of sustainability and clean energy.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Net Zero Earth, an innovative company harnessing the power of Web3 and blockchain technology to pave the way towards a carbon-neutral future. Net Zero Earth is dedicated to assisting organizations and individuals in achieving their decarbonization goals by providing cutting-edge solutions that streamline the process of tracking, reducing, and offsetting carbon emissions. By leveraging the transparency and immutability of blockchain, Net Zero Earth ensures that every step taken towards net zero is verifiable and secure. Their platform allows users to easily monitor their carbon footprint, access a marketplace of verified carbon offset projects, and participate in a global community committed to combating climate change. Whether you're a large corporation looking to meet sustainability targets or an eco-conscious individual striving to minimize your environmental impact, Net Zero Earth has the tools and expertise to help you make a difference. Join the movement towards a greener, more sustainable world with Net Zero Earth.
That's it for today's Net Zero Earth podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. On today's show, we covered some exciting developments in the world of low-carbon cement. Sublime Systems, an innovative startup, has landed a whopping $87 million in funding from the Department of Energy to scale up their electrochemical cement manufacturing process. This could be a real game changer in decarbonizing one of the most emissions-intensive industries out there. Kudos to Sublime for pushing this important technology forward. Before we wrap up, I want to give a special shout-out to our sponsors and ad submitters. Your support is what allows us to keep putting out this podcast week after week, diving into the latest in carbon markets, clean tech, and the net zero transition. We literally couldn't do it without you, so thank you. As always, you can find more info and resources on everything we discussed today over at netzeroearth.com. While you're there, be sure to submit your own ideas for topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes. We love getting your feedback and suggestions. Well, that's our show. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time as we continue exploring the technologies, policies, and market forces driving us toward a net zero future. Until then, I'm your host saying, stay curious, stay hopeful, and let's keep working toward a cleaner, greener world. See you next week.